Welcome back to the Mad Spider-Verse. I'm Mad Spidey, and thanks once again for tuning in to my channel. Today's episode will be another one of my statue collection series. Now, whether or not you've obviously watched this before, obviously I do reiterate every single episode. I explain that all these statues are Bowen Designs statues. Bowen Designs was obviously a predominant force in the statue, collecting sort of scene in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s, obviously before all your Sideshow and Iron Studios and, PCS and all those sort of companies. They were pretty much the predominant force, as I said. Bowen Designs predominantly did or had the license to do all the Marvel statues. They basically did a mini bust, a mini statue, and a full-size statue. And they did, I think it was, if I remember right, I think it was ended up being 5 different phases. So over a certain amount of years, they amassed quite a collection and quite a lot of different variations on beloved characters, but they also delved into lesser known Marvel characters as well. Today's episode will actually be one of those sort of characters. It'll be another mini bust. As I said, at the moment, can only really work with mini busts at the moment. I will get to some more full-size statues. But yeah, lesser known character and a mini bust in this particular episode. And the actual character is Machine Man. So not a lot of people would have necessarily heard of Machine Man, but he has been around since the Bronze Age, so in the, I think, mid-70s or something, I think it was. So there is the box itself. Now, as I've once again mentioned before, when you actually, especially with the mini bus, there's a little bit more detail with the boxes, even though they're a smaller box. Pretty much one side will show you if there are different versions of it at that time of release. It'll give you like who sculpted it, physical size, things like that. But on the other side, they actually give you a bit of a synopsis of the character. They generally put the first appearance book as the top picture, which I think this actually is. So it's Machine Man #1. I'm pretty sure that was his first appearance. And then they put in something a bit more recent at the time of release of the statue. So yeah, they don't actually give you any synopsis or anything on the full-size statues. They only give you sort of sculpt details and various sort of pose pictures and things like that. This particular one, one of the slightly smaller runs, so this was 1,500 worldwide, and as I've mentioned before, especially with the mini bus, they did a lot bigger runs. So a lot of the the sort of what we'd call like more of a common sort of mini bus, a lot of the runs were anywhere from like 3,000 to I think 5,000 or 6,000. Some of them might have even exceeded that, but this one was only 1,500, so a very small run indeed. The other thing to note, and I've always said this as well, I've never been fussed about the number as long as I actually owned one of them, but this one actually is a fairly low number. So this is actually number 6 out of 1,500. So as I said, not really much of, was never really fussed about that, but still cool to have one if I do actually have one. So let's open it up and show you what actually physically looks like. Alright, so open up the box. Once again, I know I keep saying it, as I've mentioned before, they quite often will have either the Bowen Designs symbol, or they'll actually have up written on the box, so you actually know which way to open it up. So we'll open him up. Get the foam out of the way. Alright, so obviously you can see there's an arm missing there, but we do actually have, this is one of those ones you got to be a little bit careful with because they've got extra pieces, so you've actually got a hand there, and or you can actually do it as an extension piece, so as the actual character. So you can either put in, if I can get it in, alright, so you can either have him as purely just a standard arm, but because he's got extendable arms, you actually get an extra piece there. Get that in there. Oops. We'll get it in eventually. Doesn't want to go in. Nope, this is a bit of a fail. Don't want to break it either. For some reason I can't actually get this one in. I won't actually put it all the way in because it's not actually going in quite properly. I probably just need to give it a bit of a clean, but it actually gives you sort of the idea of what you can actually do. If you actually have a look on the side of the box, so you got your standard arm pose, and then you got the one with the extension in there as well. So I'll take that out. And as I said, on the bottom gives you the name, the edition number, and the full edition specs as well with the Marvel logo. So yeah, so there we go. So there's Machine Man mini bust from Bowen Designs. Oh, the extra pieces there, so I can put the arm back in like so. Alright, so that is it for this particular video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Greatly appreciate each and every one that tunes in, comments, leaves a thumbs up. It's all greatly appreciated. So once again, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Hit that thumbs up, leave a comment if you wish to. All that standard YouTube greatness. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And from Machine Man and me, Spidey out.